For in Akoba, Edoba, Amisiti, Vende, the baby PM, John Dramani Mahama, and head office, Ankasankasa, office, a war, a kind of cantonment, and the baby PM will be says then a course way a good like Jonathan, the former president, Emma Nigeria, and also didn't need about John Dramani Mahama and Nase, no by Nina, a 79 tintin, the titan, simple. Good like Jonathan, and was okay, Ghana 2024, Yabba na battle no so okay ultimately Nigeria no you are a spectator as a former president ono ba e na nim di ababedi John Dramani Mahama echi abe support no obi se bisa na nsem kakra den no obetimi aye ana say den no obetimi won hwa omo ya obetimi nya the good resource and the peaceful elections in them no ka say John Dramani Mahama and the good like Jonathan the former president man Nigeria on so ha a babedi nkomo ebisibisa ne yekọ ne yeba ntimi nya menje wo mbre bebre yenko tie ne yekọ so was the press release and I said conference room John Dramani Mahama and the good like Jonathan and common young good TV and family. Don't forget to subscribe. Now like now I share. You drop any new video. Whereby they're part of the family. I say thank you.
To our humble office. In African tradition, we say we know but we ask. And so you're welcome. I know that it has to do with what has been your initiative after leaving office. I've had the privilege of serving with the West African Elders Forum when you invited me to lead the delegation that supervised the Nigerian elections. And so I know how useful this initiative is. And so I want to warmly welcome you. We have an election in barely 62 days now, 61 days. And there have been a few issues bubbling back and forth, especially with the Electoral Commission and issues to do with the register. So we're happy that a high-level delegation like this is here so that we can go through some of the concerns we have. We all want a peaceful election, but a peaceful election is predicated on the groundwork and the preparation that is done before the election. I'm sure that if we get everything right in the lead up to the election, then the election will be peaceful and successful. But we are committed to a peaceful election, and we believe that if we cooperate with each other, especially with the EC that is supposed to be the neutral arbiter and umpire, we should be able to get it right again. And so I want to warmly welcome you, and thank you very much. This is our General Secretary of the party, Mr. Fifi Kwete. And then Omani Boama is our Director of Elections. And so he handles the technical aspects of the elections. And then Joyce Bawa Mukhtari is my spokesperson. And so you're once again welcome.
Of course, you have already been introduced. So I'll make a brief statement because the media will want to know why we're here. So after that brief statement, we'll go into an indoor discussion on some of the key issues that brought us. As the Secretary of the West African Elders Forum mentioned, the purpose of the West African Elders Forum is to see how we can bring tension down in the sub-region. ECOWAS, of course you know very well, you've been the key leader of ECOWAS, is one of the sub-regional bodies that is well respected. Even SADC respect ECOWAS. But no, we are not immune to conflicts, and we've seen that there are a lot of conflicts in the continent and conflicts in ECOWAS. And most of the conflicts are related to elections, and that's why we are placing so much emphasis on the elections. And when we set up the West African Elders Forum, it was how many years ago? 2020. We believe that when elections are coming up, we don't want to wait until at the end of the elections and when there are major conflicts before you step in to mediate. And we feel that we should prevent crisis from even coming. So we visit countries before the election and we also come during the election. During the election, we are not playing the key role. We'll observe the election, but we are not playing the key role of election observers. But we are there to mediate, to make sure that elections are done properly. We follow the regional and international protocols guiding elections, and where it's necessary for us to mediate, we mediate, so that parties don't really go into confrontation that will create areas of conflict. We must use this opportunity to commend Ghana, because Ghana so far is one of our countries that have been conducting elections that has not led to excessive violence. Yes, there are issues. We've known even the last election from 1992 till date, but compared to most other countries, Ghana is on the positive side. It's a good example of the practice of democracy. And we are very hopeful that even the next election will go the same way. We must also commend you and your political party. So far, your campaigns, we've seen that it's issue-based and no much of antagonism and so on. And we really want that approach to continue till the end of election. And so we are here to listen to you. You already highlighted some, but I know we'll go into a little more detail as we go into the discussion about some of the issues that we need to take up with the relevant stakeholders, because we are going to interact with the political parties, the candidates, the Electoral Commission of Ghana, the security, civil society, the media, and other people we believe have some key role to play that will ensure a successful election, or election that could not be successful, because it's human beings that create chaos. And if elections will fail, it's human factor. If elections will be successful, it's the human factor. That's the key role that the West African Elders Forum are here to intervene. We believe, like you mentioned, you are a part of us, but you are not fully with us, because we see that you are still interested in politics. And when the Nigerian election was coming up, we look at, yes, you are not yet fully with us because you are still interested in active politics in Ghana. But then we feel that you will be very, very useful for us to manage that election. Initially, you were reluctant to even come. I said, no, we will be there. So we need you to come and lead, because I cannot, because I'm in Nigeria. No matter how you think you're neutral, politicians will not accept that you're neutral. Exactly. Since I have been a key leader of one political party up to the level of being the president on the platform of that party. So we needed a neutral person to lead the team. And you graciously offered your services to us, so we must also appreciate you for that. I believe the coming election will be done in a way that will be peaceful, just like the Executive Secretary said with the Secretary of the South African Elders Forum. For citizens to disagree with election results, that means that things are not done transparently. And those are some of the issues that worry us, and those are the issues we will also have a conversation with the key stakeholders.
Move it. Go, 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 go.
This is the first guy. The second guy. Then sit. Yes. Yes. My glasses.
Thank you very, very much for attending to the office of the former president and flag bearer and leader of the National Democratic Congress, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I'm sure that as you well know, this morning we received a delegation from the West African Elders Forum, led by His Excellency Goodluck Jonathan of Nigeria. Indeed, he was accompanied also by the former Prime Minister of Burkina Faso, His Excellency Desiré Quadrigo, and then of course the Secretariat from the West African Elders Forum. I'm sure you all know that they are here largely, as President Goodluck put it, as interlocutors, largely to mediate, to have conversations from the various stakeholders in the upcoming elections. You do know that Ghanaian elections are actually a matter of international interest. And so as we are going into this election, all they are anticipating is that there will be peace before and after the elections. They also want to ensure free, fair and transparent elections. The truth is that they are not here as observers. They are here largely as a group of former leaders and presidents of Africa or West Africa who are interested in maintaining peace in the course of this election. So yes, as you all know, they had various conversations regarding the work of government, the work of the Electoral Commission, the work of the Electoral Commission in relation to political parties in Ghana, specifically the National Democratic Congress. Mr. Mahama has actually been speaking largely about asking the EC to do the needful. The EC is a constitutional body mandated to serve as arbiter in our elections. Indeed, they have actually been behind on many of the things that they are expected to do. So this morning we have actually discussed largely the work of the Electoral Commission, the appointment of all these very partisan individuals to the Commission, first and foremost, how some members of this Commission have even described the National Democratic Congress, the hostility sometimes, the intolerance sometimes, the posture even of the Electoral Commission. In recent months, we've had conversations about the voter registration process. Indeed, we all know, we are all here in Ghana, about the challenges to do with the exhibition of the voter register itself. So till date, we do not have a full complement of the exhibition of the voter register. Indeed, the National Democratic Congress has lodged its complaints about the numbers of persons who were deemed to have been registered but were registered illegally. These are matters that are also before the general public. And then certainly it is also about, even in the course of the balloting, look at some of these political parties that are part of the process, for example. We also know that the IPAC is actually a body where we were expecting that concerns about matters to do with elections will actually be raised and discussed. But you know that it has become almost very, very difficult and challenging. So I believe that when such visits take place, it is also important for the leader of our political party to speak to the matters that concern him and the matters that actually will not help the process of a peaceful election. In any case, we do know that this is an EC that actually told us that they were even working to conduct the election in November. We are currently in October. How is it possible that they are now telling us that they will be exhibiting online the voter register so that people can go there and check whether or not they have been registered or not? Indeed, how many Ghanaians even are actually even online? And when do the portals open? We know about challenges with the network, for example. So this is not a process that is so easy. Time is of the essence in this matter, and I'm sure you heard President Goodluck speak directly to you in the media about your neutrality, even in your reports, your neutrality in monitoring the elections, your neutrality in how you couch your messages in and around the elections in particular. So yes, Mr. Mahama genuinely and the NDC are all for peace. We heard our General Secretary speak largely about challenges, even how some of the members of the Commission, the hostility, how they describe even members of the NDC. So these are all matters that we talk about. They talked also about weaponizing the judicial process, even in some cases, considering the numbers. Currently, we are literally packing the courts. The question is why? Mr. Akufo-Addo has actually openly told us that he is not even intending to hand over to Mr. Mahama.
Joyce, so did the NDC or did Mahama make direct proposals to the Elders Forum in terms of how to deal with the EC and the other issues that you've raised?
Absolutely. He has actually told them that in their engagements with the EC, their engagements with the New Patriotic Party, their engagements with the opposition leaders also, they ought to remind them about their responsibilities to the general population. That the EC is an arbiter and ought not to show or exhibit bias. Mr. Mahama and our General Secretary have also outlined the prejudice that we feel in our dealings with the Electoral Commission, for example. In any case, each time the NDC has presented its challenges, they have taken steps at making corrections, at making amends. All of us were here in 2020, and we saw the number of times that election results were corrected and re-announced. Can you imagine that in a high-stakes election, if Ghana were not such a peaceful country, how would citizens receive such information about results being declared at different times and corrections being made? These are the things that Mr. Mahama is speaking about. We all know Mr. Mahama. He's a man who is very committed to peace. And certainly the issues to do with the peace agreement also came up. And Mr. Mahama spoke about the fact that we need to be reassured that the Electoral Commission is for all of us and on behalf of the good people of Ghana, not just for the New Patriotic Party. I bet these are matters that they've discussed sufficiently. So I have no doubt in my mind that hopefully they will convey the message. And as a political party, we know that we are poised to win this election. We will continue to do the needful, continue to walk our talk, continue to present to the good people of Ghana what it is that is of interest to us, what we believe will serve the eventual purpose of the good people of this country. So I think that genuinely this is a meeting that was very welcome, very needed, a meeting led by other leaders also who understand the process of politics and appreciate the fact that suspicion within itself can create very serious challenges for us. So we are hoping that these engagements will go a very long way, first and foremost, to reassure the general public, secondly, to reassure the people of Ghana, and then also to give the National Democratic Congress comfort that the Electoral Commission is working in all of us our interests, not just in the interests of a few.
Thank you.
Thank you.